The Lok Sabha has passed the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill. The new J&K legislature will now have a total of 114 seats, out of which 24 will remain vacant till the occupation of POK ceases. During discussions in the Parliament, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has highlighted this, stating that, and I quote, POK is ours. Now this historic step has taken place. What is going to come next is the big question. NewsX relentlessly worked towards this cause over the last 4 years. We have charted out a comprehensive plan for the same as well. We have pitched filling vacant seats in the Parliament, appointing DMs and DCs, allowing POK exiles to apply for Indian citizenship, and asking friendly OIC nations to set up consulates in Srinagar as well. But what other action must be taken to reintegrate POK with India? That's exactly what we discuss in the next half an hour. Dr. Niml Singh, former Deputy Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, joins us on this broadcast to talk more about this. Also joining us on the show at this point in time is Mr. Sumit Peer, Senior Political Commentator. Mr. Kuldeep Khoda, former DGP, Jammu and Kashmir, also joins us on the show. And Major General PK Seel, Global Strategic and Defence Expert, with us on the program as well. Dr. Niml Singh, I'll come to you first, sir. Thank you so much. You, in fact, have been a part of this journey that NewsX undertook about 4 years ago. What do you think, sir, is going to change now that this has been mentioned and actually formalized on the floor of the Parliament?
Actually, ways they have been because this is for the first time that the marginalized communities, they have been recognized, their rights have been recognized. Secondly, as you have rightly said, and it was explained by Honorable Home Minister in the Parliament itself, that Jammu Kashmir is an integral part of India. And when we say that it's an integral part of India, then we have to assert our claim over there firmly. And it has been done for the first time. After the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A, we see that we started showing the weather of POJK in our weather report. That was the message which has been given. Now, besides various statements in the Assembly, we have asserted and we have given one representation to the people of the refugees of Jammu and Kashmir who were displaced from POJK, which is an integral part of India. Now, they shall be the representative there. Their representative shall be able to raise the voice of the refugees within the Assembly, their rights, and also the atrocities which are being committed on the residents of POJK who are presently there. It has become more important in view of the fact that the people of POJK, now they are demanding that this road to Kargil be opened, and the Gilgit Baltistan people, POJK people, they want to integrate with Jammu and Kashmir. That means with India. So it's a historical step. What were we saying, and what was there in the this unanimous resolution of Parliament of 1994, that the outstanding issue in Pakistan, that is the occupation of Jammu by Pakistan, and now we have really asserted, and we have very strongly and to Pakistan as well to world.
Right. So there seems to be a problem with your network. We'll try and come back to you, sir. So there seems to be a problem with your network. I'm going to come back to you momentarily. Let me quickly rope in Sumit Peer also, who joins us on the program to talk more about this. Sumit, the same sentiment that I expressed at the beginning, that when this gets formalized from the floor of the Parliament, and the Home Minister makes it a point to tell you what the past was and what the future will be like, the big question that comes to everybody's mind, especially somebody like you as well, who's been active, in the thought leadership of what was supposed to happen in POK. What is the organic, logical next step, Sumit?
We need, first of all, when the Honorable Greh Mantri ji is telling you and announcing this from the floor of the parliament. It's not an election rally. It's not one of those election speeches where, you can promise things. But when you're announcing it from the house of the parliament, you are sending message to everybody and anybody across the world, we mean business. You are telling and reiterating that the fact that the POJK and GB is the unfinished agenda of our partition, which will be done. You are telling that whatever you try to do as Mr. ISI, ethnic cleansing of the Kashmiri Pandits and the Hindus in the Kashmir, that will be undone. You are telling the refugees from POJK and Mirpur and all, they were not given their rights. We are going to give them that rights by nomination, because for Kashmiri Hindus or Pandits to fight an election and win is not possible demographically because of the population and because of they have been scattered all over. So you are reinforcing what the ISI and Pakistan tries to disrupt and make it into a kind of an Islamic place, 100% Muslim state, and say, look, this is how we can have our way out. That all has been got back. So we are not only stopping at that. That was 35 and 370. We are now announcing them. We have reserved these 24 seats for POJK. That means POJK is a part of our agenda. It's a matter of time. We are going to go and get it. The time and place of our choosing. You cannot tell us when to do it, how to do it, but we'll do it. We are telling you this from the floor of our parliament. अगर तुम में औकात है तो जवाब दो. But the tyranny is that nobody from Pakistan has replied, and nobody from Pakistan will reply, because they know when Mr. Amit Shah says something like this, he means business. It's a matter of time. Now you are sending a message to Americans, you are sending a message to Russians, Saudis, OIC, Chinese, anybody and everybody, all the intelligence agencies, all the think tanks. It is the Home Minister of the country, who is the second tallest leader in the country politically, who is telling you this what is I'm going to do. And is the same man who in 7 minutes abrogated 35A and 370, which was considered to be impossible. And is the same man who told you that jaan de denge par POJK leke rahenge. Now what is going to do is that you're going to wait for our next move. We are going to do it. So that means not only we are going to take it, we are also having a government in exile, which will be a plug and play model. When the push comes to shove, will replace it. One cog will go, the second cog will fit in, the things will go. There will be nothing like a chaos, there will be nothing like an anarchy. It will be a plug and play. We will get the land which we deserve, and as a superpower, nobody can hold our land. We are making that very clear to Pakistanis. Tumhari auqaat nahi hai. Kashmiri Pandits or Hindus getting the reservation is telling to ISI, your policy of Ghazwa Hind and ethnic cleansing has failed. You only lost 40 years trying to do it. You have got nothing. We are going to do what we have to do back. Giving POJK refugees is the right thing to do, because we are nominating them, and in Constitution we have the provision of nominating. It's not we are violating the Constitution. When we are doing this is how a superpower in making should behave. This is how a very strong political leadership, which is under the Prime Minister Modi, should behave. And world knows when Modi ji kuch soch lete hain, wo karke dikhate. It's a matter of time, he will get it done. And all these people who thought we have won and all this, they would have lost anything to everything. From this announcement, this is a very, very important step. Now, message is very clear. We are ready for POJK and GB. You have to give it to us. Agar auqaat hai, agar ek baap ki aulad ho, to rok ke dikha do. We are announcing it from the parliament. We are doing it on a news channel. So now Pakistan, agar tumme damkham mein, Officer Munir can still think he can do Ghazwa Hind and all, let him try to stop us. He cannot. And he has not uttered one word, Vineet. Because, GI is questioned, GMO is questioned, Nadeem Anjum is questioned, Imran Khan is in jail, Sharif is a toothless tiger, and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's father says, look, my son is not good enough to be a prime minister. And what Asim Munir is trying to go, running from pillar to post, trying to find some money. So this is how a powerful nation makes the intentions known and felt in the whole world. And obviously, this has gone to OIC in all the countries. We have seen no reaction coming from anywhere. That is a green light. Because usually you will see reactions coming from. There's a green light. As no reaction is coming, it's a green line for us to do. When it will happen, that Singh Saab and General Saab are here and Kuldeep ji is here. They are the best people to tell you when they will go and do it and how they are going to do it. But it is going to happen. We are announced to the world, and the intentions are clear. There is no ambiguity. It is Modi government. जो बात कहती है वो करके भी दिखाती है, and people know the track record. People know the track record of Mr. Amit Shah. So it's a matter of time, let's wait and watch, and let's look for a day when we are going to again to have a debate on this mission accomplished.
Well said, Sumit. I'm going to go back to Dr. Niml Singh and see if his connection is any better. Dr. Singh, if you can hear me, sir. Sir? Dr. Niml Singh? All right, seems to be a problem once again with this connection. I'm going to rope in General PK Seel also into this conversation. General Seel, very good evening to you, sir. Well, like Sumit said, that there are bound to be consequences, positive consequences for the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and of course POJK. But at the same time, there has to be an organic ripple effect to what was announced in the Parliament yesterday. What, according to you, is that going to be?
The biggest advantage as far as the locals are concerned and displaced people are concerned, that for 70 years they've been deprived of their legitimacy and their right of representation. They will now be given an equal level playing field. They'll be given representation and they'll be given their legitimacy, which had been denied to them for 70 years. We sent a very, very strong message to the international community and to the domestic community within India, as well as the domestic community across to Pakistan, that India is meaning business and we are not stoppable. However, as far as I am concerned, there are no military options whatsoever available to us for integration of POK. We are going to do it peacefully, and the people of POK want to be part and parcel of India. We reserved 24 seats for them. Earlier, we had been giving them only moral support. Now, in addition to the moral support, we ought to extend to them the political support, the economic support in a very major way, so that sooner than later, the integration takes place. I reiterate that there is no military option. China's CPEC passes through J&K, particularly Gilgit area, etc. And there is no way that there is going to be an easy solution. But that notwithstanding, our views are very clear. We've told the world that we mean business and we're going to provide legitimacy to them. We're going to give everything that has not been given for the last 70 years to those who deserve it. For the first time ever, seats have been reserved for the SC, the ST people and the displaced people who are educationally equipped. And a certain amount of other decisions have been made, which very clearly indicates the intent of Modi government. और हम इसको हर प्रकार से करके दिखाएंगे. But it's
so you mentioned that word integration. There's a lot of gap sometimes between the lip and the cup. That's exactly what the premise of my question was, that what is going to be that ripple effect? What is the organic next step for the Indian government, to take care of the displaced population of POJK as well?
That's a very interesting question. As you see, we reserved seats for them, but when those reserved seats will be filled is only a question of time. And as I see, the time frame is nothing less than 5 to 10 years. This integration is not going to be an easy affair. There has to be a popular uprising on the POK side, and the uprising signs are already visible. We've got to support this uprising morally, politically, and economically. And I reiterate, there are no military options whatsoever, because militarily it is not possible to integrate Jammu and Kashmir for obvious reasons, because you would be fighting a two-front war. Chinese will be very deeply involved. They already, Division Plus troops are already there in Jammu and Kashmir, in POK, and China has been very keen that, like Gudar, Pakistan gives a long-term lease Gilgit and Baltistan area as well as POK area, and we certainly must not rush them, Pakistanis, so that they do so to China, which will make things far more difficult. But popular uprising has to be supported by us. There are very many means available to do so. What the government will do and how they will do, I am sure the powers that be, they know it, and we have to have faith and trust in them. जैसे आपने कहा कि मोदी है तो मुमकिन है, कब होगा ये तो नहीं मैं जानता, but definitely it's on the cards. But I don't see it happening, integration taking place in less than 5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years. All right. Let me also rope in Mr. Kuldeep Khoda, former DGP Jammu and Kashmir, into this conversation as well. Sir, I hope you can hear me. Mr. Kuldeep Khoda?
Yes.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for speaking with NewsX. Yes. Taking a leaf out of what General Sehgal said, that obviously the intent is correct, the action is right, the motivation is very high, but there is definitely a timeline to this dream, to this aspiration that the Indian government has when it comes to the integration part of POJK. And what was announced in the Parliament yesterday is a step towards that promise, but perhaps the realization towards that promise is going to be a while.
Yes, what General Saab has mentioned is correct from the practical point of view. But before I give further views on this, let me put some facts so that we don't go wrong on some of the things which are there regarding the constituencies which are existing now and which were existing previously. Prior to Reorganization Act and delimitation, the number of constituencies in J&K was 87, which comprised of 46 from Kashmir, 37 from Jammu, and 4 from Ladakh. And now Ladakh, and then there were 24 constituencies reserved for POK that was existing earlier also. It's not a new development. And after Ladakh was made a separate UT, and after the delimitation and reorganization act, the number of constituencies which after Ladakh separation got reduced to 83, they have been revised to 90, and which comprised increase in seats by 7. 6 of them went to Jammu, raising it to 43, and Kashmir went up from 46 to 47, making in all 90 seats. Add to it 24 seats from reserved for POK, that is 114, and then there are 5 nominated seats now. Previously there were 2 nominated seats for women, and now there are 3 more have been added, 2 for the displaced people from Kashmir and 1 for the displaced people from POK, making in all 119 seats. So that's the correct position as it is existing now. So I thought there is some variation in the figures being mentioned here in the debate. Now coming to the main point which you have raised, China has huge interest in POK because of the Belt and Road Initiative programs they have undertaken there. And it will, any military adventure into POK will also invite Chinese intervention. That is, of course, taken for granted. So India has to move very carefully as far as military options is concerned. But at the same time, the uprising which we are seeing in various parts of POK and in Gilgit-Baltistan and other areas, that of course the aspiration of people, they need to be supported. And because it has been annexed by Pakistan through militarily after they violated the agreement which was signed by the then Maharaja of J&K with the Union of India, that provided for complete accession of entire J&K with the rest of the India. So as far as the documentation is concerned, entire J&K is part of India, and India needs to get it back with whatever option is practically possible and whatever diplomatically and through other means can be done. But as far as the changes which have been brought after the Reorganization Act, they are very obvious. The restoration of peace and normalcy is for everybody to see. The integration of J&K is now complete in all respects. We have seen the improvement in law and order situation. We have seen the improvement in the terrorism levels going down drastically. The atmosphere is smooth now, and the development process has taken a front seat now, which was not existing before. And as far as reservation of the 2 seats for the migrants is concerned, there has been a lot of debate in the parliament, and the government has very correctly pointed out that the voice of the Kashmiri Pandit community had got suppressed all through, and they had virtually no representation in the assembly. Prior to the 1975 accord with Sheikh Abdullah, there was a convention being followed that at least 1 or 2 seats would be given to Kashmiri Pandits by the mainstream political parties which were in the forefront in Jammu and Kashmir, like the constituents of Habakadal and constituents of Pahalgam. But after that, after the accord, that convention was given up with the result that there will be virtually no representation of Kashmiri Pandits in the assembly. Now that position has been reversed, and I think this is a very right step and required step, and the voice of the displaced community will be heard. And so is the case with the refugees who had come from POK. Their voice was also not being heard. They have their own issues.
A much needed action which has been taken timely. We have run out of time. I'm going to take concluding thoughts from General Sehgal and then end with Mr. Sumit Peer. General Sehgal, 30 seconds, sir.
Let's hope and pray that the integration does take place. As I said earlier, no military option is available. And as far as the integration is concerned, how much diplomatic and political and economic support would actually result on ground is to be seen. Because Pakistan and China will take absolutely ruthless means and ruthless measures against the population. They will do exactly what they did in Bangladesh. And whether the people will be able to take that beating and stand up, because India's military intervention, according to me, is an impractical thing, and we will not want to be involved with two-front war with Pakistan and China.
Sumit, Pete, concluding thoughts from you. I know you have a lot to say, so I'll give you a minute.
Vineet, you see, why do we need POJK? A lot of people ask this question. First of all, when you get POJK, Pakistan is deficient in water. They only have 7% of the water. When you take POJK, because the only interest of China and Pakistan in Himalayas is water. Because if you get hold of a few more water sources, your economy will be robust, you will have water security, and Pakistan will be water deficient. Secondly, there are a lot of jihadi organizations which are working from POJK. If you get POJK, you can get rid of these jihadis. They have to go to Sindh or to Punjab, wherever, and go and cremate themselves somewhere. Third thing is, when you get POJK, you will have access to the Akhand corridor. Akhand corridor means you will have access to the Central Asian, you will have access to the Central Asian trade. Today, we have a trade of around $20 billion, but the estimate in the next 20 years, the trade can be around $300 billion. Then that will also give you access to the, to the INSSTC. Will have an alternate route of reaching India. So these are the 3-4 things. Why do we as a country need POJK? And we have to send a message to the world. Look, we are a superpower in making, and nobody can take the land of a superpower in making. It is more of stamping your stature on the world map. Like Ayodhya is the third pole of geopolitics. Getting back POJK and GB is the most important thing what we have to do, so that people in the world over start taking us seriously, and these people like Pannu and all these caricatures stop issuing those threats to us. I mean, let's make a few case studies. Today in Pakistan, the only known is the unknown gunman. Today, the Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists are burning malls because they want ISI to give them Z+ security. Imagine terrorists like Adnan Arsla or whatever, who was killed yesterday. He was asking Z+ security from ISI to be protected from unknown gunmen. Vineet, only power can ensure peace. If you are powerful, you will have peace. If you are not powerful, you are on the Rahmo Karam of jihadis, and you know what jihadis want. They are looking after life after death. They are looking for 72 virgins. So let's not give them that opportunity, and let them live peacefully here, and let us live peacefully. Else, options are always open.
All right. On that note, we dip into a short break, but appreciate all of you joining and sharing your perspective on this very important decision that was taken yesterday.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.